Hey, how's it going today? It's Frankie and I'm here with Random Movie Mondays. And this movie is called The Killer. I'm not really sure what I thought of this movie. It certainly is nowhere near as good as the new Ballerina movie, the recent one. That movie would always be the best movie in history, in my honest opinion. This movie here, I really don't know what to think of it. I'm going to get straight into it. Before I get into it, there is, you could say, a very famous person in this film. Not they're all famous, and I was going to say special guest, but it doesn't really include a special guest in this. But there is an actor in this. He is an he's a retired footballer, more like. I'm not going to give away any more clues than that, but he does appear in the movie, and he plays someone called Gobert. Anyways, it's a French movie. There's parts of it in French, but the rest of the movie is in English, so that's okay. And yeah, so I'm going to break down on it. It's about this assassin or hit woman called Z, and she's been tasked to actually kill these people at a club, and she has to and after she does that, she accidentally makes a woman go blind when she shoots at something, and like a bottle or something, and this woman called Jen just goes it's not unconscious, but she hits her head on something that causes her to lose her sight. I thought she shot her in the eye. That's what I thought it was going to be about, with her shooting in the eye, and that's what I thought was going to happen. It was all accidental, and then she saves her, and then she gets told that, she was meant to kill her because of her boyfriend called Philip Rocco, I think his name is, and he's known as Coco anyway, and he owns the club or something. And you see him in the scene get shot by someone called officers called Say and Jax. And I think it was that Say just shoots Philip in the foot, and he just dies. And I would say neck anyway. And then Z sort of gets confronted by her boss called Finn, who is involved in something a bit like shady. He's involved with people that stole like cocaine off like a jet, and I think it's to like rival gangs or something like that. And then the Prince is also in on it as well. Prince, I've forgotten his name actually. And yeah, Gobert is also in on it too, and then you see Finn working with them. I wouldn't call that a twist, right? That didn't make me go, oh my god, he's in on it or something. He does like the type of person to be in on something like that, and he still wants a girl dead. I think it's because she was with like gang members, like rival gang members to them, or something like that, and that's why they want her dead. And Z just trying to protect her, and there was a shot in the hospital and she tries to get her out, and Say is also with her as well. Bear in mind, her and Say did have a bit of a conversation, because she did say that she was from an embassy and she wanted to kill Jen basically, but then she refused on it. And since Say was in the room, that's why she had to pull her stunt and just pretend like she spilled the IV bag by accident. And then this is where Say starts going, oh, now I can tell when somebody's lying. And Jen is definitely lying. He knows when people's lying, and I could probably tell in his eyes that he thinks that she's lying somewhere. Then he gets a phone call saying that this woman called Noone, Noone, is they never heard of her, and that's when he starts to figure out it stands for no one. Should have probably realised that myself. But yeah, I think a lot of agents or hitmen or assassins use names like that. It's obvious. It's like they don't expect the person to realize, but they realize they on. And then after shot in the hospital, they eventually start to join forces when they find out a bit more deeper information, and that's when Z gets information out of Jen. And yeah, that Jen was talking about the history and what she's in the situation that she's in. And yeah, and then they have a bit of a shootout as well, like they mentioned. That I don't know, and the music choices as well. What is with the music choices? I get it's in French, it's a French movie. It just felt very slapstick. The acting, it was decent enough. It was okay, I'll give him that one. The actors were fine. But the music choices, it just felt that some of the dialogue, it felt a bit corny and slapstick. It's just the wrong music choices for a movie like this. They tried their best on this one, respect on them. Again, I wasn't feeling it. You know, storyline was okay. What the character is about, the role of the character, that's okay. It's just the parts of this movie, it was just felt a bit too silly for me. I know it included drama, but come on, it felt like they should have added comedy to this. Like, it just felt very slapstick and a bit too silly here and there. But it wasn't all bad, to be fair. And you know, they had some good moments, like for instance the action parts there, and then you sort of find out when it gets deep into story that, you know, Finn actually works with these people, and he was planning to set Z up and Sei up. He told them Z to you know, kill Sei, just so, you know, so that Jen can get rescued because Jen gets kidnapped. And yeah, then they sort of find they were both being set up to get killed, and then that's when you eventually find out that Sei's partner Jax, his, you know, like, yeah, his close partner, probably close friend as well, was in on it the entire time with the cocaine and stuff, and he knew, oh, was it heroin? I think it might be heroin. One to two anyway. And that's when someone, I think her name is She or something. I don't even know, but I'm not sure what her name is. I didn't quite get her name. But I saw an IMDb of She, and I was thinking, that could be her. And she was planning to shoot, well, you know, that Z, basically. And she thought she got her, but that was just like a dummy that Z placed, because Z knew it was all set up. And that's when Z sort of shoots her in the head. And Z also shoots Jax, because she knows there's like a big set. They were both told to go at the same time. And yeah, that's when they find out where the girl was being hit, you know, being kidnapped and whatever she's been like kept at. And this is the church scene where it goes. This is probably the best part of the movie. It was just sort of typical gunfight, nothing intense for me. Some action movies I've seen had more intensity in these type of scenes, but it made up for the movie, I guess. And they start shooting and stuff out, and yeah, I mean, this is all because Z didn't do her job of killing Jen, which is quite silly, to be quite honest with you. And also the part in the where Z's getting interrogated by Sei, it felt a bit stupid. I get officers meant to intimidate and use these sort of like lines and dialogue to try and get the criminal out, or whoever they're interrogating. It was just them getting to know each other like they were dating. I just don't get it. And he obviously Z escaped from that afterwards, as being handcuffed something. And then yeah, you can tell Sei's been sucked because he sees like people with like heroin or something like that, and he just has to run away from them. Don't know why he didn't fight or something, he just ran off. I did the church bit back on that scene. Yeah, good piece of dialogue before Z and Finn had a bit of you know, an altercation, a bit of a fight, and so many enemies came in. Boy, fighting for more sinners. It was a bit of a good fight here. And then this is where the other female that works with Finn was having a fight with Z, and Z eventually just kills her anyway. And then yeah, then you see Sei just having a fight with a big dude, and he has to try to fight with you know, Finn, who keeps stabbing him multiple times. And this is another interesting thing. As soon as Z, because Z was about to get shot by Finn anyway, she asks about his shoe size. The reason being is because that's the story that Sei told when he was going undercover, when he started to give somebody like, some like money in exchange for something or whatever it is. And his radio went off, and the guy shoots his leg. And then he asks what's his shoe sizes to try and distract the person before shooting him. And then he gets shot. It wasn't from his partner, it was Z. Which didn't make much sense why Z would do that. She did say she doesn't believe in people like that taking over. It just felt really, it didn't make much sense to me, that scene. So Sei realizes that, and he remembers her. That's why he didn't say anything. And he knew that she was lying. If anything, why did he not just come out straight up and say it? Like, this movie did its best to try and get some good twist in there. What twist? I mean, Finn, even in the middle of the movie, Finn was working with them. It just made it sound like a normal thing in the movie that we were supposed to know that. They could have did that at the end, but we didn't know he was part of it the entire time. So, yeah, that's the one thing that actually kind of disappointed me a lot. And yeah, so and then Say passes the gun to Z, and that's when Z shoots Finn in the head, and you see in the hospital. I mean, the weird thing is the way Say was talking to people in French. It made it seem like he was part of something. His character, I thought he was going to be a corrupt cop when he was talking about the prince or whatever he's talking about. I was just thinking, is he secretly part of it but just didn't want to be a part of it? But then he wouldn't be stopped to get killed. So I don't know. I'm a bit confused about it. And then he spoke about crosswords. I'm not being funny. I don't even understand why that's there. I can care less about the crossword. Why they? It's a bit corny, that bit, especially the word at the end where they would make it. Where the word at the end of the crossword, the last crossword was like reborn was the last word. And was that trying to say, oh, she's going to be reborn to somebody to something else? I don't know. It just felt pointless and needless to add that sort of scene in the movie, and it disappointed me. Like I said, I did my best to explain the movie thoroughly. That's basically the movie. You can watch it for yourself before, watching this video, or watch video first and watch the movie, I don't know. And another thing too, actually I'll get on to what I'm about to say after the review actually. Yeah, so rating. You know what, there's only one number in my head. It's not a bad movie. There's good aspects to it. But again, the music choice made it seem silly. There was a lot of gimmicks in there that felt comedic. A lot of corniness in the movie. Like, this is nowhere near like the Ballerina from the Water John Wick movie. I don't think any action movie can beat that Ballerina movie. The recent one I'm saying, not the 2017 version from like a few months ago. The recent Ballerina movie, right? There's nothing that would beat that. There was no corniness in that movie whatsoever. It was straight up action, straight up great dialogue, story. Everything was frantic and intense from start to finish. This movie here was the opposite. There was corniness. It wasn't frantic for me. There wasn't enough of a good storyline for me. The acting was good. The storyline, you could say parts of it was good. They had good action moments. I'll accept that. It is an action movie. They should be having 90% action at least. It just felt there was 70% of it, and it just confused me a little bit here and there, which it shouldn't. So yeah, needed more of like intensity in the movie. So there's only one number to give this. I don't think it's average. I'm going to be a bit fair and say 7. I think 7 out of 10 is fine. I don't think it's that good to be an 8. Right? I think it's a decent movie at best. And if anyone disagrees, fair enough. But if anyone says, I know people entitled to an opinion, but if anybody says this movie is up there with the recent Ballerina movie, then you're crazy. Right? I know I can accept opinions. When you say something ridiculous as that, then actually you've lost your mind on that one. There's just no way. Right? This movie just had a few aspects that were wrong. The recent Ballerina movie was just perfect from start to finish. I couldn't find a single fault with it. This movie has a few faults. That's why I'm giving it a 7. Now, here's what I wanted to say. On one of my videos on my Controversy in Gaming channel, my mom's partner helped me out with doing a thumbnail and keywords and stuff like that, and it does look better. I had 588 views before that video was improved. I hope I get more from that, and I'm going to start doing it on a few videos on this channel. I'm going to do it for this one as I practice because this is a recent video, but I'm going to do it from like the good movies and shows that I've seen. I'm not going to do it for every single one of the videos because that's going to go too far. That's just going to be too much and too much hassle and work. I'll do it for some videos. I know it should be for all of them, but bear in mind, I've only had this up to, I think, since 2024, January 2024, I think that's right. Or maybe, I think it must be like that. Or was it over a year? I can't remember, right? It was around those years. So I've had this channel for longer than that. So I couldn't do all the editing. There's nothing on the iPad. You can't do stuff on the iPad you can do on the laptop. So that's why I wasn't able to do any of them type of like, edits and thumbnails and stuff like that. So on the laptop it's different to do that. But like I said, the movies that are poor, I don't want them to get as much recognition, right? You can still watch them and stuff, but if I make good, if I, like edit the videos a bit more, make them look better, the other videos will get recognition too. And like I said, the good movies the recent Ballerina movie and the John Wick movies, the Silent movie. I'm going to improve them as much as possible because they deserve a lot more recognition. The description is just going to be just hashtags. Like, there was a big description on that. The video is called "Living with Someone That Has an Addiction," right? It's about controversy in gaming channel. I've improved the descriptions, improved thanks to my mom's partner. Description improved, like it's improved heavily, and it needed to be heavy. It needed to have a lot of description because it's a sensitive topic. So I guess, you know, it kind of needed a big description. But these type of reviews here, I'm just gonna have hashtags and keep the timestamp. I'm gonna have timestamps involved, and just obviously keep my socials. Make sure you follow my socials and look at them too. So yeah, that's all I have to say. The football one, I'm just gonna have like Old Trafford as like a thumbnail and see what. Now, okay, see, my dumbass didn't realize there was an option for AI. The AI bit is called Ask Studio. When you go on YouTube and you go to the you want to go to the edit section, it says Ask Studio. That's the AI. Me and my mom's plan. I could have been using that to help me out a lot since I started using the laptop. That would have been improved my videos so much. I didn't realize that. I realized these things there, and that's because the AI stuff is coming in all recent now. AI has become heavily influenced on social media. So yeah, social media is dependent on that basically. So I didn't know that. So my apologies on that one. But there'll be a few videos being improved. I'm not going to do it for every video. That's going to take too much effort and time and hassle. I'll do it for this recent video, you know, because it is recent. So I might as well do it for this one, see how it looks. I'm going to do it anyhow and see how it turns out. I hope I get to ask the right questions for AI because I'm not sure what to type in for that one. So I'll see how it goes. If I don't do it, then I can always edit it afterwards anyway. It's fine. So I can improve on these videos even after I upload them. It doesn't have to be a certain time. They give you an option to do it even during that editing and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, check the Living with Addiction video out because that video is improved. There's timestamps. I want timestamps for reviews so I can see what I can go back on some of the movie and shows that I rated and see, you know, go straight to that rating and review. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for this video. 7 out of 10 is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.